Turning to Gaza now, where the humanitarian disaster is escalating after more than 5 months of the IDF onslaught. The head of the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees says Israel has created an artificial hunger crisis in the embattled enclave.
Basically, the entire population of Gaza is now dependent on food assistance, but we have more than half the population today which are living in what is qualified catastrophic level of hunger, which means that people now are about to enter into a stage of famine. So this is clearly a man-made, man-made, artificially created hunger crisis impacting more than 2.2 million people.
According to a food security report, famine is inevitable in parts of northern Gaza, where some 300,000 civilians remain despite the Israeli invasion. Every third child under the age of 2 there suffers from acute malnutrition. An increased risk of starvation has also been recorded across the entire strip. Half of the enclave's population, that's more than 1 million people, have completely exhausted their food supplies. However, the IDF is deliberately preventing the delivery of humanitarian aid to Gaza. That's according to the international NGO Oxfam, which has accused Israel of violating humanitarian law. Back in January, the International Court of Justice ordered Israeli authorities to facilitate the delivery of more aid to Gaza. However, Oxfam says the situation has since only gotten worse. All right, let's cross live now to Palestine Red Crescent spokesperson Nabal Farsak. She joins us from Ramallah in the West Bank. Nabal, the famine is reportedly imminent in parts of northern Gaza by May. What is your assessment of the situation there?
The Palestine Red Crescent has warned months ago that the continuous bombardment and restricted aid access will lead to starvation. And now the UN also has confirmed again that famine is imminent, with half of the population suffer from catastrophic hunger. The entire population in Gaza are lacking access to food and water, and all the population are definitely relying on food assistance. The situation is more severe in the area of north of Gaza and Gaza City, where little aid has been able to reach there. Gaza, from north to south, all the people there suffering every single day, struggle to get some little food in order to survive. Let's remember also that this month is the month of Ramadan, when Muslims around the world are fasting, and people in Gaza are also fasting, but up to this moment, they don't know even what they are going to eat and how they are going to break their fast. And since there is no food, it's a major struggle now for every civilian there is to find food. And we have seen mothers skip meals in order to ensure their children have something to eat.
It clearly is a very dire situation. What are you hearing from your colleagues inside Gaza as far as how are people managing to cope through such difficulties?
People are so much tired, exhausted, overwhelmed, and disappointed as well. And every time I speak to my colleague, they are telling me they can't even describe what is going around them, and they can't even imagine how this is allowed to be continued and happened. Especially we have volunteers at Jabalia in north of Gaza. We have medical posts there, and our volunteers are doing incredible job trying to save people's life, despite they themselves and their families, they struggle in order to maintain and have some little food. Yesterday, one of our volunteers there, I asked them what they had for the iftar to break their fast in, and they are like a family of at least 6 or 7, and they only have a can of beans with some bread that was made from animal feed. This is the old things they had, and at the same moment, many or dozens of families in north of Gaza started even to have grass or any plant just to survive. And the situation is only getting worse and worse, with at least 27 people died because of starvation and dehydration, including 23 children. Thousands others are at risk of losing their life, especially children, pregnant women, and sick people, especially those with chronic diseases, are at risk of losing their life because of malnutrition. And as I said, the situation is only getting worse. Even the lack of food and clean water has resulted to infectious diseases among the displaced people, with more than 700,000 people were recorded to have infectious diseases, including respiratory diseases, diarrhea, as well as skin diseases, without even being able to receive a treatment, since the entire healthcare system is already collapsing and hospitals are overwhelmed with the wounded people as well.